Hey guys, I found another tumbler online the other day. It has a little different shape about it, as you can see, and it piqued my interest, so I wanted to get it and try it out. Now, it's supposed to compare it to the Yeti. I don't know, we'll see about that. But let me show you this thing, see what it looks like, and then we'll do some ice comparisons, see which one holds ice the longest. Okay, one of the first things I noticed was the height of the Atlas. It's a little tall at 8 3/4 inches, 8 3/4, compared to the Yeti, which is 7, looks like 7 5/8. So 8 3/4 compared to 7 5/8. Looking at the bottom of them, they're really close. I'm not going to measure that. They're really close. The Atlas is a tad bit bigger on the bottom there. Let's see if the lids are interchangeable. They are not at all. The Atlas actually is a good bit smaller. It's a good bit smaller on top. The Yeti lid will not fit on the Atlas. And the Atlas lid is way too small for the Yeti. Now, one of the most interesting parts about it is the fact that it's a twisted tumbler. It's the first one of these I've seen, and I'm not quite sure how they did that, but it is pretty cool. Twisted tumbler is exactly what it's called. It's called a 30-ounce twisted tumbler, and you can get that at atlascoolers.com for $19.99, 30 ounce. You can also get a 20-ounce twisted tumbler for $16.99. Looking at the inside, there is a seam there, and I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Right down through there, straight down, there's a seam, and it just didn't get polished out. I don't know if all of them's like that. That does not affect the tumbler at all. I'm sure you can't see the seam on the outside. I just happen to notice there is a seam there on the inside. So it's a pretty cool tumbler. We're going to check it out, see how it works. Okay guys, I'm going to start by putting 30 pieces of ice in the Yeti. Okay, there's 30 pieces of ice in the Yeti. Okay, now 30 pieces of ice in the Atlas. Okay, there's 30 pieces of ice in the Atlas. If you can see, there's 30 pieces of ice in each one, but there's a lot more room in the Atlas. Of course, it is a lot taller. Alright guys, it's now 1:30 a.m. on the 27th day of June 2016. It's 70 degrees in this room, and we'll maintain that throughout the comparison. Both tumblers have 30 pieces of ice, just like all the other comparisons I've done. So I'll come back periodically and let you see how it's going. Alright, it's now 2:30 p.m. on the 27th. I want to show you real quick how it's going at this point. It's been 13 hours since I started comparison. Alright, the Yeti here on the right still has quite a bit of ice in it. Maybe about half full at this point. And the Atlas looks about the same. I'm not quite sure which one's losing the most ice at this point. Okay guys, it's now the 28th of June, 6:30 a.m. and it's been 29 hours since I started comparison. Let's check in and see how it's going. Alright, the Yeti here on the right. I don't know if you can see that. There's a very small sliver of ice in there. I'm going to say the Yeti's done. Alright, let's check out the Atlas. And it's still going strong. Quite a bit of water. It has melted a lot, but this is at 29 hours. Okay guys, there you go. The Yeti held out for 29 hours and the Atlas is still going strong at 29 hours. So we're going to let this Atlas continue to go and just see how long it will hold ice. I'll check back with you a little later and we'll see how this Atlas is doing. Okay, it's now 5:30 p.m. on the 28th. It's now been 40 hours since I started the comparison. So we know the Yeti lasted about 29 hours. Let's check out the Atlas now and see how it's doing. Okay, the Yeti, again, you've already seen just water. And the Atlas, it's got a good chunk of ice still left in there. I guess you can see that pretty good. So it has several hours left. We'll come back later and check it out. Alright, it's now the 29th of June, 1:30 a.m. Let's check out the Atlas, see how it's holding out. Okay, after 48 hours, you've already seen the Yeti has no ice, but the Atlas still has ice. 48 hours. That's actually a pretty good chunk of ice. Okay, it's now 6:30 a.m. on the 29th of June, 53 hours after I started the comparison. I think we're about done, but we're going to check it out and see how it's going. Let's look. The Atlas still has a small amount of ice. A very small amount. I'll take the lid off so you can see. Small amount. That's 53 hours after starting the comparison. Alright guys, that's it. That's the end of this comparison. 53 hours is a long time for a cup to hold ice. But as you saw, the Atlas held out. Am I saying the Yeti is not a good cup? No, but I'm saying the Atlas held out a lot longer. If you want to pick up one of these, go to atlascoolers.com. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a great day.